bring to the table. Techie, welcome back together with Hart as well. We've mentioned already Velocity in the backline together with Zelos. Is it going to be enough with 2C also popping off? And let's get this gate going here. 100 Thieves, TTK rolling out, not on the Queen herself, but on the Devil Dino.
We're going to get
GTK
on
on Devil
Dinosaur instead of
Dinosaur.
Hulk. Are we going to see what Card could do on this new impressive Vanguard? As I said, it's going to be a lot of butting heads, quite literally, with these compositions. But also keep an eye on those who are going to be playing the duelist here. With the amount of damage you can put in, you can build up those ultimates relatively quickly as well. And it is already going to be a back and forth at the moment. Neither team kind of stepping on the point as it unlocks.
No
Instead,
Phoenix
it's going
from
to be an
each
outright
team.
brawl
Wow.
on this left-hand side.
I think it's really interesting to see Vinny too, really still relying on that tank pool too, to try to match that with Techie. Playing this slow with Zelos being on the Jeff. How about making a lineup here extinct with Velocity trying to be the anchor in the main strat and getting those COs down. Hard take a good chunk of that damage, but it's the delay while FlyQuest have a bit more control over the point, but it's going to be a match for both of the tank pools between Vinny and Techie. Nice bubble from the other side of the Devil Dino that is TTK while he slowly tries to approach over onto the point.
Uh-oh.
These battles are going to be all about sustain when you get this kind of mirror as well. It's about surviving, waiting for those ultimates, and then who's going to be the one to pop it first. Zelos is going to have already It's Jeff available if you want to try and go for a little bit of a gobble, but Winnie's going to be the first one to go for it, and we'll actually get a grab, and then the counter comes out from Zelos here.
And together with Zelos, the It's Jeff. Oh, it's a buffet
Wow.
of all three members of FlyQuest. Winnie coming out to find those
100
victims,
Thieves
and
capping the
100
point
Thieves
first,
will be
chat.
able to get the point first thanks to the It's Jeff.
Just an insane neutral that we had to see as well, and just get used to it. These long engagements when you have Devil Dino on both sides, because the amount of pressure you can kind of consume as that Vanguard, you block so much damage as well, especially with that bubble. You can protect all of your team, so everyone just kind of hunkering down behind the Dino and waiting to build up those ults.
Look at TTK, very close to that Rampage, and Self does have the Extermination. A lot of sustainability from 100 Thieves, with Millennia having the Invisible Boundary. With the 2C, who can try to go for an environmental KO on the Glartrox if they can get a little cheeky with it, but with the Extermination, finding Cart, trying to move up with the rest of the team, getting displaced is something huge here, and it's going to put a delay to the way that FlyQuest want to try to take over point.
Yeah, this is just going to hurt FlyQuest in terms of time at the moment, but you can see the Glartrox does get released as well. Can you actually connect with anything to try and convert it into some KOs? Doesn't look like that's going to be the occasion here for them. So 100 Thieves still holding strong, holding this angle at the moment.
And you got the Banhammer right on top of it. Everybody's playing inside these spheres before you get isolated. It's going to be Vinny who gets shut down. And Techie coming out on top together with Zelos. Now with FlyQuest having the number advantage. Cart gets stunned temporarily. The Rampage comes out. And Melee is going to keep everybody up with the Kumio Unleashed to try to match out of the Invisible Boundary. Look at Vinny. He was one shot. Gets back to help thanks to Millennia. But it's so much damage output. And Millennia going down without being able to utilize the Galactic Legend here as they've now booted their way right
Hey, 78% is not that bad for 100 Thieves, man.
Yeah, that was far better. And again, it was just that opening pick they were able to get. And
Pros
them
still
to
play
apply
tank pool, yes. He's just not as strong as he used to be, but he's still pretty good.
Economy now, we are going to again have the It's Jeff available for Zelos to maybe do a little bit more with it on this occasion, but also Galactic Legend on the side of 100 Thieves, as you are just going to see Brute Force being the attempt, but it is denied immediately as Starlord gets ripped off the map.
A little charm here, finding Delena here as well before Melio. It's an opportunity to get it once again before backing away. Has a teleport to get together with the rest of the team. Just a little beta switch so that way you can try to get your Kumio Unleashed even faster. Zelos does have the It's Jeff. Can it be as big as what we see from Winnie? As a Rampage starts off, TTK does get stunned. The Rampage going forward before Delena finds Car. Before backing away, though, Zelos says, I just
he didn't want to go for it, man.
I can't do to help out Cart in this situation. The Banhammer next to try to meet that of the Extermination from Self, just keeping everybody alive for 100 Thieves, but it's a straight neutral fight with Velocity having the Eternal Bond, and now it's up to Winnie to go hard again here with the It's Jeff, catching him right at the very end of the Glartrox, catching him like a baseball, and bringing him together with the rest of his team.
Yeah, it's one of the best ways to use it, Jeff, is as protection rather than the aggression. As you see the switch over for Delena as well. Over on
that was a very smart play. That was very smart.
More poke coming through as Starlord wasn't quite doing it, and you also get the Endstrong Inferno as well to try and slam down the extra bit of damage. As FlyQuest, they will have to fall back as 100 Thieves regain once more.
Swap ups here that they definitely needed. Delena highlighting the buffs here for Phoenix and just putting
they're
in some
TPing.
more of that extra
Damn.
pressure before the portal play comes in. Techie putting it right behind so that way they can utilize it as some extra cover from the other side of the point. Nearing already 95% in favor for 100 Thieves, and Millennia still has the invisible boundary. No sustainability on the side for FlyQuest unless Melly can stay alive to get this Kumio on the leash.
Yeah, at the moment, no ults to work with. As you said, just going to be the one for FlyQuest when they get there. But the invisible boundary does come out now just to give the extra bit of protection for them. And 100 Thieves have to take advantage of this, and they will be. TTK gets the opener.
Oh, FlyQuest. Uh-oh, FlyQuest.
Right after the Kumio Unleash is forced to be used and then gets melted here as the Rampage comes out from TTK to play even more aggressive.
Oh, he
as
wasn't
100
even
Thieves,
able to
they
get
force
his
FlyQuest
ult.
off and get the
Damn,
first round.
okay.
100 Thieves.
Okay, this looks like a different 100 Thieves from the preseason. Okay,
for them right
okay.
now. FlyQuest, they had a couple of good moments, but just
Okay.
couldn't break out once they got pinned back in once more from 100 Thieves. I love the switch as well. Over onto Phoenix.
I trusted
You're on
you.
Star
Guys,
Road, you were
it was
struggling a
only
little
the
bit to get
first
out. You were being
round,
focused a
bro.
bit
Oh
by a
my
couple of the
god.
players.
This is
Phoenix
the
just
same
gives
thing
you
that happened last game,
it's
bro.
an escapability.
Last
Having
game,
the
Nightmare
Endsong
Cap
Inferno
first
when you
point.
do have
Everyone
that
was
ult
like, oh my god,
available.
J3,
If
you
are
suck.
about
I
to be
trusted you.
deleted,
And then
just
guess
get
who
an
ended up
easy
winning?
out and sometimes
Stop.
apply that extra bit of pressure with the damage too. Sometimes even just a couple of kills off the back of the Endsong Inferno. So a great change from 100 Thieves to stay on top here.
I also think it just follows up so nicely when you combine that together with a good amount of the bleed pressure, and then you combo that with the Rampage. It's so much damage to burn.
Every
through.
time I trust you, Jay.
Burn
Bro.
one of those strategist ultimates, right? You go hand in hand
I'm
together.
gonna shit in
with
your
maybe not
pillow.
getting the impact, making that quick swap.
So when you
over,
go put your head down there to go
You look at
sleep,
what they
it's just
have
gonna be
now
all
going
mushy.
into round number 2, though,
Stop.
Gaston, and Hart does have the Rampage of their own. Velocity
Stop.
making the swap
Game is not
over to
over,
the Loki,
bro.
something that we've seen Velocity on so many times to get the God of Mischief, so that way they can try to get a similar copy too.
Does Cart pop it early just to try and win this initial engagement and get this one locked down. It was a long old neutral beforehand, and it took a long time before 100 Thieves were able to get out on top. But you can try and target some of these backline players. Winnie just giving so much free heals at the moment, and you will see the Rampage get popped by Cart to try and stay alive here. But now Winnie, can you actually catch anything? There is going to be a couple in there, but do you get any answers? No.
Oh, that was he cried that shark, by the way, right out of the itch, Jeff. Unfortunate, the game plan does not work a second time around. And
Wait, TTK died on point? Did he actually just learn it? Did he learn not to go save his KD? He's growing up. He's growing up, chat.
Self is going to have Rage of Ultron off spawn. So maybe that's something they can utilize to try and break through here on FlyQuest. Whereas look at Velocity, though, about to go over to 100. And that means they're going to have the freedom of any ultimate they want from this lobby. And that is going to be difficult for 100 Thieves to break through as well. Maybe they could steal an invisible boundary if they would like to from the other side. But already you can see 100 Thieves trying to flank around a little bit, just sending one player to get a little bit of info. But now they will bundle up onto the Dino.
They get the copy on the Eternal Bond to keep everybody alive through the extermination, and the BRB for Melio is going to bring back Hart. So with the Eternal Bond used up in the form of the God of Mischief, Delena's waiting, forcing Tusi to look down this window, has the Endsong Inferno, as you mentioned, for a hard reset if they need it, but they have to get rid of these cheeky Loki clones that are in different angles. The invisible boundary to allow them to walk up.
Oh, they got to go forward, the map changing.
Together, Techie just trying to bring everybody into their line of sight, but 100 Thieves aren't
Oh, okay, Delena.
as Delena in the strength neutral calls out Tusi, calls out the Loki. The lamp's now burned up as Zelos unleashes the Eternal Bond to keep FlyQuest up.
Wow, Velocity
is just on
survived
a
all that.
Loki mission at the moment, taking down every clone that they see. But you are going to be able to survive. Endsong Inferno is still there and available and will be popped now. But is the damage there to get any sort of conversion? No. No KOs, but it will at least allow her to keep herself alive. And now FlyQuest have to just back off a little bit. Maybe they have to sacrifice this point unless Cart goes crazy.
I'm very surprised. Wait, isn't Melio a DPS player, chat? What are we doing over here?
To find Cart, will be able to come back in, but FlyQuest are nearing 95%, so they held it down for quite some time. Good stall from FlyQuest for 100 Thieves finally flip it.
Triple support,
They can just pretty much mirror what they did at the start of this round, where Cart initiates the rampage, everyone kind of follows in his shadow, and then they all break away to just damage that backline immediately to be able to comfortably win the engagement. But it's easier said than done, as here comes the push now.
We're trying to wrap up
There's no way their professional strat is to play Rocket because Rocket shreds Dinosaur, chat. There's no way that's the actual strat.
Talk about the extra damage output as Cart is going to unleash the Rampage that we've highlighted before, the invisible boundary, more so on one side of the point here, just allowing FlyQuest to delay the inevitable, wait it out before now pushing together, and the Endsong Inferno is still aligned here for 2C. Techie has a Sonic Seduction, you go diving right down, and the Extermination as a BRB does bring Cart right back, but we still lost 2 out for FlyQuest. Velocity has the Eternal Bond, so that way they can try to keep themselves in this fight to flip it, and the rest of the 100 Thieves, they're forced out. These walls here are just trying to allow them to get back together with Vinny, who's so close to that strangling prison.
It did shut down TTK though, and Endsong Inferno comes out on the other side from Delana, but no conversion on it, no KO for them, and Cart is now going to look to dominate this point as FlyQuest are still keeping this fight alive. 100 Thieves still scoring at the moment, but when you thought FlyQuest were done and dusted, they just about bring it back, and most of it was because of Melly on that
I can feel it, chat. I can feel it.
Hiding in my corner.
I can feel it in my thighs.
Here. Strangling Prison now unleashed as everybody's grouped up in that right corner, but then you have to match that with the Sia. It's not enough to keep those 2 members alive for FlyQuest. Vinny is on a rampage, and together with Winnie being on the swamp of the God of Mischief, Delena catching out Melio right before he get out into the line of sight of Delena.
One last ditch attempt maybe for FlyQuest then.
Are they staggering the Venom?
To fly yourself round as the Venom for Techie to see if you can just get a touch on that point, but elsewhere,
bro, that's
it's just going to be distraction for this.
It's a 5v6 now, chat. That's bad.
The opener onto Techie just means FlyQuest are going into this as a 5 versus 6.
And Velocity had to make that swap over to put down the portal. Techie has the reset too with the Piece of the Abyss. It's the Eternal Bond. FlyQuest have a lot in their utility to keep this fight going, but 100 Thieves are right around the corner with the Eternal Bond now. And now with Winnie having the Invisible Boundary in the form of the God of Mischief. Comes now the Endsong Inferno for the reset. Cart, the rampage is over, and Self is about
TTK?
to have the extermination.
Delena?
You're gonna use it right outside of the Piece of the Abyss that you see FlyQuest trying to hold it down together.
Vinny?
Right through the Devil Dino
Self?
barrier, and all the damage output is just enough for 100 Thieves to straight FlyQuest off.
100 Thieves secure the victory over FlyQuest. That Rage of Ultron is disgusting when it gets going, but FlyQuest sadly just could not find their way through time and time again. 100 Thieves, they look like they've polished things up between preseason and stage 1, and maybe reaping the benefits now of not making any team changes coming here into this stage.
Amazing looks here, as 100 Thieves 2 had also made the adaptation that they needed going into this round. Even if they had lost at that point, what was it? We saw FlyQuest at what, nearly 92% or so when they first took over that point before 100 Thieves flipped it. It's going to be one heck of a series, guys. Don't go anywhere, because on the other side of this break, we got match number 2.
Every dog finds a bone eventually, chat. Can they keep up this momentum, though? That's the question. Every squirrel finds a nut. But you know what I'm saying, chat? You know what I'm saying? Let me see real quick. Hang. You know what I'm saying, chat? You know what I'm saying? Doreen knows all about that. Wait, what? They can't let TTK be on Dino. Force him on an aim-intensive hero. What? That would be even worse. TTK, I'm pretty sure, has even a better Emma. Oh, listen, I don't care what you guys say as well. What was that team? I'm pretty sure it was, Wasn't it the first game of the day? TCO against Crownfall? Crownfall won the first game, and chat was like, oh my god, J3, we're losing our channel points. But then TCO came back and won. So, listen, maybe it was a fluke. Maybe it was a fluke. Maybe, hear me out. Maybe 100 Thieves did their own bans themselves, but now iRemix came back from, you know, working and putting the fries in the bag. Now he's gonna do the bans. Maybe they could flark it up now. Have you guys ever thought about that? Think about it. I don't know, man. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. My money is gone. It's not gone yet, chat. Also, is that show good? Marvel Zombies, is it good, chat? It's good? Okay. I'm okay. Short and well animated? Okay, sick, because I needed something to watch. Milo! Preacher Master 77 months. Oh shit, I think we're back. Bang. The show is like Loki. Oh, I'm not gonna watch it. Never mind. Whoa!
In game right now, featuring new skins for Luna Snow, who at this point is collecting legendary skins like the Avengers heroes. But right now we've got the Hela serving the goddess skin in the Savage Land as well. A lot of great heroes at the moment, repping in style, and of course Ultron dripping. And we saw exactly what Self was able to do on that Ultron. Ever more with that crazy extermination. Now, after that map result we just saw, Hell's Heaven, 100 Thieves gonna go ahead and look back to form a little bit against FlyQuest. And right away, I want to ask you, Vicky, I mean, what was the standout to you?
It's better than Loki. Like, well, I think anything can be better than Loki.
Presence felt a lot more stable on 100
Loki
Thieves
is
side. TTK coming into form there.
Loki's at like the bottom of the barrel.
I hope that's an Easter egg or a tease.
Hold on. Hopefully. Oh, no way. All right, I got hyped actually, especially with like the Lower Manhattan map, what it provides with that UAV that just scans everybody and their ultimate charge. I could go on, guys. I was actually in Lower Manhattan when that map dropped too, so very iconic, at least memory for me. But Cozy, specifically a standout for me is looking at 100 Thieves.
What's up, Hidden?
Like
How you doing?
Being able to have your Phoenix pop off and have fun with the game, and then your Vanguards looking like they're also having a good time. It literally just looks like 100 Thieves are enjoying themselves, and it also looks like they're playing into their strength, right? The Devil Dino in the hands of TTK, hand in hand together with the synergy that we're seeing from 100 Thieves, I think just matches so well.
The sun was getting real low. I want the Hulk to be unleashed, you know, Gaskin.
What's
and
Jay3's
I think that was the plan they had going in.
movie?
Sometimes in scrims and practice, you have one kind of mindset.
I really
but
like
then
Batman. I think
results,
Batman's pretty good.
You might need to change things up. That's what I see over on FlyQuest. But
a
yeah,
lot of
it just looked like
resemblance.
100 Thieves felt comfortable. That was the first time we got to see Ultron kind of represented very well. Obviously, last time in the preseason, didn't quite have that oomph factor behind him with the triple strat. Now has that with the ultimate. And putting it all together, Winnie, though, as our MVP on the Loki.
Yeah, Winnie just doing everything, whether it was the counters with the Jeff ult and just being able to spit the entire team out, it felt like off the side, or making sure that invisible boundary got down at the right time. Just very cleverly manipulating the map in their favor with the strategist ult coming through. So I think Winnie deserves to get a little bit of love here. I know that you could definitely look at other players from 100 Thieves who were stepping up to the plate when they needed to as well.
Sorry, chat, I can't block.
23 KOs in the end on the Phoenix was unbelievable as well. So definitely a shout out on that side. But also TTK, I mean, on the Devil Dino was just ever present. And there was the question of where TTK was going to go. What kind of Vanguard are you going to be playing? And that responsibility of playing the Dino is not an easy one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I want to highlight a couple things. First of all, having Vinny as Groot with Dino is actually really tough because when you have the jungle of walls, it's typically a good counter against Dino and kind of awkward. So you have to be just perfect with those
I think
wall
they do a lot of the
placements to help
face
Dino
cams and
not,
like player
restrict
interviews
TTK
and
in
like
its
player
movement, and they did that very
voice
well.
comms and all that
On
stuff.
the other hand, it felt
Usually
like
like in playoffs,
we got a little
chat,
bit like mystery heroes
not
at one
stage
point.
one.
There's like five different Vanguards played, Vicky, and I think obviously, we see a lot of tank pool played against Devil Dinosaur. We saw that yesterday, too. You can farm the headshots, really get the XP going, and is good in domination because you can carry
What's
between rounds.
What's the new Batman game?
Just
Are you
feel
talking about like Lego
comfortable
Batman?
on their pick and maybe try to change things a bit too late.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why we were talking about how quick we saw the swap up, whether it be from the Star-Lord into the Phoenix, and then making the adjustments where Vinny was able to get that strangling prison in a good amount of time, while Delena was
Yeah,
the
Lego Batman game I think has a lot of great
more
reviews.
The attention away from FlyQuest means that I'm interested to see if we really are gonna go to Lore.
I think I
Manhattan,
actually
what
played
means
that
for
game.
Phoenix.
They were having like a free
Well,
trial
we get to
thing
take
at like
a look now,
TwitchCon.
and the
I
map
played it.
chosen
was like,
from FlyQuest is Lower Manhattan. The Easter egg, the tease was correct. We have our first
Low.
appearance
Oh
of the
my
new
God,
map.
Is this
But I
the
saw
first
Winlock,
pro
people
game
were
of
like, "We will
Lower
not see pros
Manhattan?
picking this map." Well, believe now. I actually think, Gaskin, this is a perfect map for, I dare say, like the losing team to
Wait
pick,
a
right? It kinda gives you some,
minute.
intel into ult charge, into
I want to see how the
wall hacks,
pros play
and
this game,
I think
chat. This is going to be
point one is a
very,
very interesting point. I'm actually excited because I myself like the map.
How are you with your iframes, and avoiding that scan is the real question, because there are some heroes that can avoid it, and that was one thing when this map came out. There was a lot of people kind of diving deep into which hero can avoid it and how. So we'll have to see how these pros have been practicing. And you're right, I mean, if you're FlyQuest here, you 1-0 down, nothing to lose, but also, have they been practicing Lower Manhattan religiously throughout scrims? When there is a newer map, you can get a leg up
You're
on
on
your competition
camera.
if you make sure it is one of your best ones, because they might not be as prepared as you are.
Absolutely, and we get a look at the Bald King, Kingpin, aka J3, in the back of the map.
What?
Love the aesthetics of this map in
And why
general.
am I
Trying to break your
catching
way
strays,
into
bro?
what is a
What
pretty
the
well-guarded area. There's a lot of cool maps, and I would say breakable environments that you can use that people aren't aware of. But point two feels a lot like Wakanda, where
Yo,
it's kind
what
of this,
the hell,
it's
man?
this tough way to break in with the momentum that you can carry into it. And so we'll see how each team chooses to go around it. And we talked about this. A lot of heroes in the game. Map picks too is something you have to be comfortable
Nah,
with. Now,
bro.
100 Thieves going to save the dino for TTK once again. But taking a look, Vicky, FlyQuest not changing it up. They're fine with how it went. They're going to try to take it to another game mode.
That's interesting. Okay, so they're gonna still force out the Devil Dino, which means we're probably not gonna see Cart, unfortunately, on the Hulk. So for those of you guys that were waiting for that, especially me, maybe we won't be getting that, as the Luna is gonna be the next ban. The Ultron ban here for 100 Thieves.
That's
something
wild,
that
chat.
really
That's
did benefit
wild,
100
bro.
Thieves too, that you were mentioning, Cozy.
That is
himself
wild.
specifically, was the Ultron for them. So maybe that could be forced out if FlyQuest want to ban that out.
I
They end up
want-
protecting the Luna for themselves.
Yeah, the Luna Snow, it's funny because Luna has kind of gone up
I
and down
want
throughout the meta.
cozy
And for a
fire.
while,
Can we
it was
start
like
a
the
new
Loki Luna
hashtag,
meta
chat?
forever, right? But
Hashtag
then now kind of
fire
had a tail
cozy.
end, kind of dip down, if you will, in usability. But that clap and
He called
being
me
able
bald.
to get that much quicker to pierce through with the heals and the damage is so reliable on game modes like this. I think this is going to be a great kind of righting of the ship, if you will. Phoenix getting the ban on the other side, respect to Delina on that end. And so now you got to see, where does Delina go from here, Gaskin?
I mean, over to Star-Lord, perhaps. I mean, there's definitely other places you can put yourself if you are in that situation for Delena, but I think that the way that they played in that previous game, they're going to feel comfortable on anything, just not missing any shots at the moment. And I think that 100 Thieves will just be happy they got Ultron again, being able to protect it. Maybe you could have seen that ban earlier on, but with the way that pick and ban has worked out for them,
give
it's
Cozy
just
a
been
raise.
probably a win for 100
No,
Thieves
no,
yet
no,
again
no,
here
no.
in this lock and
Whose
bait.
side are you
Well, point
on?
one's not always a hit scan factor, so
I'm
maybe
your
we get
streamer.
vintage
You
Psylocke
defend
on
me.
Delina or Star-Lord. Maybe, dare I say, Black Cat. I think that's going to be more for self, but we'll find out right now, as we'll find who's defending first into the aggression. That is the 100 Thieves in FlyQuest
Yes, I think
matchup.
this is the first
Very
time we see
important one for
Manhattan
both
in
of them.
pro
Can they
play, yes.
seal the deal? Take it away.
Thank you so much, Cozy. In our best of three, 100 Thieves plant their feet. One win to go here for them to move on, as our group stages have been shaping out very nicely, Gaskin. And we get to see Lower Manhattan for the first time within the Americas region. We did see it just a little earlier, actually. Shout out to Vaudable, who was able to call it out. We saw it actually earlier in Oceania. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out in a different region.
Yeah, on that matchup, it was a Devil Dino mirror as well. But on this one, doesn't look like we're going to see necessarily the Devil Dino being pulled out for FlyQuest, because you get your wish, Vicky. Cart is on your big bad boy Hulk, and we'll have to see whether it makes the difference for them.
Okay, and already starting things off very aggressively. TTK with the portal plays, just so that way they waste no time to get onto this point, giving them whiplash with the FlyQuest, the alley-oop, the freeze onto the big dino here. But they're taking the fight right to FlyQuest to secure this point just as fast as possible.
Yeah, they almost just confused them, bamboozled them there, and were able to get away with almost 2 chunks. Actually, they might even get to these 2 chunks, and they've been able to force them back here, FlyQuest, as they are really at 6s and 7s right now, unable to really break through the pressure that we see implemented from 100 Thieves, who were already able to get the opener. With them going down, FlyQuest down to just 5. It looks like this first point is going to be as easy as that, and just a great push through from the start.
What a way to highlight the practice of your rollout right now from 100 Thieves. That was Chef's kiss, together with the triple strategist lineup that they rolled out with, knowing that the strap pool was going to get that ultimate.
Damn! 100 Thieves got that shit so fast.
FlyQuest, on the other hand, now making some changes. Sure, we may see the Cart Hulk, but is it going to be enough now that UAV
Also,
comes
we
in
don't
and
see
gets
a lot
the scan,
of
lets them
we
know
don't see a
what
lot
everybody's
of
ultimate charge is also looking like?
We don't see a lot of this
Techie
character.
switching over to Devil Dino, so we're going to get Dino
Surprising.
plus Hulk. Remember, we did see this in our previous matchup of the first series of the day as well, and it worked very well when you use them together. Very difficult to play up against. Tuzi just trying to survive on Psylocke at the moment, able to get away, but was certainly focused briefly by that Daredevil. You've got to keep an eye on Self, but it's going to be Self and Vinny working together, just diving at the moment with Captain America and Daredevil.
When you get Self to just break out of the chains and do what Self loves to do best here, making the swap of the Galactic into the skies on the Ultron instead, Melio, the Black Cat, is no longer here on the field, is instead going to get caged back into the spawn room gates before making the swap up over to
Remember,
the
this is FlyQuest's map pick, bro. They better lock it in. They gotta win this. It would be very embarrassing if they lose on your map pick.
Self is very close to letting that Devil out, and Delena has the extermination to go.
Here it goes, Rage of Ultron, and boy, is he full of fury, but he gets absolutely deleted out of the sky. Tuzi doing their job as now TTK going to just pop that Rage as well, and we are going to see plenty of pushback from the back of it.
Can we talk about the timing of the scan was so perfect because Tuzi was
Rage
so
roll for
close
25
to
months.
Delena, was hugging that wall, up on top of that balcony, finding that pig was ginormous, forcing Delena to now make the swap off of the Ultron now over to the Star-Lord, going with triple strat lineup for 100 Thieves.
With the Rampage used now for TTK, Techie's going to have it on the other side for FlyQuest. Again, to try and apply that pressure. Alongside Car as well, they might be able to go for something a little bit different. The switch over to Venom maybe could be what they were looking for here, but Melina is going to be able to pull out. It's Jeff to try and get a little bit of extra oomph, but I don't know if you actually found anyone with it. So instead, we are going to be in a situation where FlyQuest are just dropping like flies.
And you go in for the Feast of the Abyss to get a reset,
no,
but
this
you
is
have
not
no
chat.
follow potential off of the antis that you landed. Instead, it's the self-show
Chat, I'm not feeling
finding
so
a quick
good.
3K, winning the nail in the coffin to find Cart. It's another clear out for 100 Thieves as FlyQuest back to the drawing board because this was not working out.
You gotta poop? No.
Come through shortly. Vinny and Winnie, though, both have ultimates.
I said FlyQuest was gonna win this.
Going to have them available for themselves. As
after what I'm seeing, I just don't feel good
at the moment. They are not really surviving as much as they need to. The sustain has not been there for them. Freedom Charge comes out as well from Vinny. So that is probably good news to bad news for the side of FlyQuest. As now Ensong Inferno, can you land any damage? Not enough.
And look at the sustain right now that we're seeing for 100 Thieves. Winnie then comes into the Kumio Unleashed.
Classic
Delena wraps up
Curse
from the
3
back
now.
end and takes a flanking angle to find Melio, who goes on for their third swap, this time over to that Daredevil here. And the Venom not really helping out for FlyQuest too, as Cart hasn't really been able to help sustain themselves. They're clearing up more space as 100 Thieves are taking them out one by one. There goes the strat back line of FlyQuest and the rest of the team.
Second point secure.
What is that? What is that? 4 minutes for all of third phase?
This is just looking a little bit rough around the edges here for FlyQuest. Clearly, you know, they've had a lot more work to do. They've had to make those team changes, whereas 100 Thieves, they've carried on their team, their exact lineup from preseason, so they were always going to have the advantage.
How can you not have faith in your boy TTK?
It's
not that I don't have faith in TTK, it's just that I don't have faith in the team after the preseason, bro. They came in 6th place in the preseason, chat.
The fact that
That's
you're just
horrible.
letting Self have
I had
it
high
moving.
expectations for
Welcome
them,
to
and
the
they failed
circus,
me.
the Self-Circus, but now you have the Dancing with Butterfly, Velocity to help them move up into position after the Galactic Legend was used up from Delena. Everybody's sustained, but you also want to add in a little bit more of that extra damage to help enable Tusi. But it's a trade-off here. Millennia is the first to get knocked out, and now TTK unleashing the Rampage. The follow-ups here, Self together with Delena have just been the duelist menace to be afraid of.
Yeah, can't move back over to Devil Dino, but he got ripped right back off of it once more. It's just not fun when you are focused that heavily and you just don't have the support from the rest of the team. Because 100 Thieves doing so well at separating the team from the Devil Dino at the moment. FlyQuest just not able to play on him as they would like to.
This is just crazy to see this momentum that we're seeing. I mean, right now, 100 Thieves together with Selfie unleashes the Devil. The Reflect backing away, he's still alive.
Wow.
Millennia goes in
Great mobility,
now
bro.
It's up to Winnie to keep them up alive and to continue on this pressure. TTK gets the auto grab, sends him off to the map, and isolates Techie. I love the displacement that we're also seeing right now from the TTK Devil Dino play.
Kart is going to go for one last attempt as well. Bubble will at least try and create some space for the rest of the team, but this looks like it's the beginning of the end at the moment. Vinny has Freedom Charge available to him as well. Galactic Legend will come out for Melio. That's going to be their kind of final roll of the dice here to survive.
but they have the Freedom Charge, actually. I like the way that 100 Thieves are guiding away just to negate that damage from the Galactic Legend of Melio. And now Delena finding a UAV scan here.
Oh, wow, he didn't end up
in the back line,
going.
but they have other priorities. The Galactic Legend is right around the corner from Delena. And now you're just clearing the rest of the points. Self having a field day once again. Gets
bro.
a 2K. Delena to follow up to compete. Who has more KOs? As 100 Thieves get this payload to the finish line with 1 minute and 25 seconds on the clock.
My. That was quite the one-sided affair. FlyQuest just couldn't get anything going, and again, just the constant hero switching.
I was always on
really
100 Thieves side. Good shit, 100 Thieves. That's what happens when I vote for them.
Of that round, to be honest with you. I mean, with the portal play that came in, I think it caught FlyQuest off guard a little bit, which it shouldn't. Let's be honest. You always have to have in the back of your mind a potential portal to kick off the game. But as you said, they almost broke their necks turning around to try and get to the point once more. And off the back of it, 100 Thieves, they just never slowed down. Always were getting in the face of FlyQuest. And they get a comfortable 3 points here. So FlyQuest are going to have to try and answer back with 3 of their own.
The title that is TTK has not gone down once. I don't think Winnie also has had 1 KO. This is actually insane how that portal play from the very beginning, Gaskin, dictated
no one's
the
looking.
entire
Change my
pace
answer on the
of
board.
match
True.
in favor for 100 Thieves.
Get ready.
Just constantly scrambling, weren't they, for pieces, for anything to get back into the game, clawing at them, but they couldn't find it. And you know, I'm happy that TTK is having this much success. There was I remember in preseason, people were giving him a little bit of stick, saying that his hero pool wasn't deep enough on the Vanguards and was relying too much on X, Y, or Z. And you know what? Screw up. If you get Devil Dino and you can play this way, then sure, you might force out a ban next time. If that does happen, then it opens up the Gambit for your team. So that's exactly what you need. If you're going to get mirror Gambit bans, you need to take advantage of this Devil Dino.
I mean, the fact that you also have the Self getting 12 finals, going down only once on the Daredevil, I mean, somebody get an Exorcist. So you have to spray holy water on this team. Too many devils around as FlyQuest try to imitate a very similar play, but much
Very
more
interesting.
defensively.
Sure,
because it's
sign
way
of
more
verse.
far
Please
behind
don't know.
100
Imagine being
Thieves.
100%
Just
on
in terms of their
predictions.
positioning, holding the choke that 100 Thieves was holding right there, also instilling a bit of fear. Melio making that swap over to the Wolverine to open things up. The character that you saw from Zelos, but playing its quick position is also forcing FlyQuest to change their attention into 2 different directions.
Susie doing a little bit of damage from the backline at the moment as well, and it is certainly working. They are applying a lot of pressure to them, but FlyQuest
Game's not over till it's over. That's all I gotta say.
No KO to open us up, and it's going to be View gets that. Oh, yeah. And Delena trying to follow up on top of it. 100 Thieves just trying so much pressure to FlyQuest.
Looking to the other side here, it's going to be a trade-off. They did lose out to Deadpool here, but it's going to be TTK holding their ground, finding Heart, who hasn't had the best opportunity to try to find a diff opportunity against the Dino v Dino. Now your Velocity, the God of Mischief, coming out in the form of the Eternal Bond before Self backs away. They find Velocity, 3 members of 100 Thieves in that side room. While Velocity does find Winnie, it's going to be a big kickoff here. No, it's Jet.
Oh my
Well,
god, he
TTK
popped his ult with
goes
like
on a
80
rampage
HP.
together
Holy
with the
shit, that's
Lightning Legend. I'm
ballsy.
surprised he stayed up for that long before TT finally takes him out. And now it's Delena over to the side, but it's so much sustain for FlyQuest thanks to the double Eternal Bomb.
So that's good from
Hey, they
FlyQuest.
capped
That was
pretty
a
fast,
pretty
too.
impressive push through, even without kind of a
Ethical.
portal
Appreciate the tier
situation.
one sub, my
There was
friend.
no
How you doing?
surprise. Instead, it was just brute force from them. And I am curious to see how much of a difference Melio can make on this Wolverine as well. We were talking with Cozy about Wolverine players and how important and integral they can be to your roster. Well, Melio has a chance to show just what a difference maker he can be.
Can he get cheeky with it, though? Torpedo, that is Wolverine. That metal stand for going over to the left side is going to be Tuzi. Also has the End Song Inferno with the reset. Took a lot here out of FlyQuest, but they have a huge amount of time here for 100 Thieves trying to split their attention, with Millennia also having the invisible boundary to answer back.
Tuzi just finding time as well at the moment. Happy to deal damage from a distance. We'll use that End Song Inferno maybe as just a last-ditch attempt if you are forced into it. And there you go, when you're taking a lot of damage. And now you want to try and see if you can actually capitalize from any damage elsewhere to get any conversions of the KOs. Not going to happen, but Vinny has fallen. So 100 Thieves starting to struggle a little bit, but there is a great response onto the side of Zelos.
With Zelos being stuck inside that side room, sure, but now Melio claps back and finds 2, gets the dive down, Tusi to follow up.
Wow,
The Wolverine
okay.
Kitty's got claws, and the rest of FlyQuest have harassed 100 Thieves back behind the
I was about to say,
choke point.
you can't
But then
ult
you see
him,
what
but I
FlyQuest
mean, they got the
still
kill
have
still.
in their pockets, Gaskin. Velocity, God of Mission, Tech with the silent seduction, as well as Cart with the extra damage with the bleed together with the rampage.
So now we're seeing why FlyQuest picked this map. The defense maybe was a little bit lackluster and maybe they were caught off guard, constantly scrambling because of the time of that initial one. But the way they attack here, they are doing it sublimely. They are really forcing this agenda onto 100 Thieves, mainly through that Wolverine and also now having Emma cross.
Oh, that's risky. That is very risky.
And 100 Thieves are definitely going to be pinned back here because of it. Winnie will go down alongside Vinny, and 100 Thieves will be scrambling themselves.
And even with Self finding Velocity, you have the Galactic Legend coming in from Delena, but it's another Eternal Bond to be met against the other side of the ultimate, keeping FlyQuest still sustained. You try to get the kidnap, Zelo's still alive.
Come on, they need a cap, bro. They need a cap.
Away, right behind the other end of the Freedom Charge that Vinny unleashes to paint the path for the rest of 100 Thieves.
Tell you what, that is an excellent response though from 100 Thieves. They looked down and out. They had no right to be able to deny that one, but FlyQuest forced to retreat now. And that is going to be a big time gainer for 100 Thieves, just allowing them to have a little time to think about how they want to defend this next one.
Being able to delay, though, with 2 minutes and less than 15 seconds on the clock, we're seeing some swap-ups. Melio over to the White Fox here, over on the other side too. 2C close to having that End Song Inferno. Millennial, okay, don't want to unleash that invisible boundary too early. Does have it ready to go, though, to try to deal with that End Song Inferno if they hold
I've
it on.
never seen a team go on the right side to try to take the right side.
So detrimental to them as now FlyQuest will begin to try and see if they can take a little bit of something off that back line, but Self is going to be waiting as the Black Cat. And if Self could just find one, it would be huge for them, but at the moment there is enough sustain from the rest of the team. The heals are good, invisible boundary does go down.
Letting it out with the invisible boundary now ending. 2C unleashes the End Song Inferno. Is it going to be enough to get the follow-up onto Self with Cart following up? Yes, it is. Vinny also incredibly low. 2C's just trying to mark him before he gets away on the other side of the corner, but doesn't hear Delena right on top of his head. Over onto the other side, having to pay attention to Delena. Does not have the Galactic Legend, but they lost out on Millennia, who only leaves Winnie up for sustain. So 100 Thieves, once again, are trickling in, allowing FlyQuest to have the number advantage.
Delena has done well time and time again, though, when
they got the portal down, too.
Delena just picked off one or two to make it a little bit more of a struggle and also delay enough so the rest of the team off spawn can get right back onto this point, because still, FlyQuest have not scored here. They've not been able to get over that second point. 100 Thieves still holding strong.
That's an angry dino from both ends, though. It's going to be a rampage, a tantrum from both dinos, but Self, the Black Cat, after making swap after swap, is going to unleash the ultimate.
Wait, why would you ult that? You're not going to kill what?
Side before the Galactic Legend now comes up from Delena, but guess what's waiting for him on the other side is another Strategist ultimate. This time, it's going to be in the form of Velocity and the Luna Snow, and now wrapping up onto the other side of the point. It's another delay, but 100 Thieves has wasted so much time away from FlyQuest for the second point.
Oh, this time Delena has gone down, though, alongside TTK, so surely FlyQuest will be able to convert this one and finally push it over. Yes, they will. So now you've got to try and do your job onto the third point. You are running out of time.
They have to complete the whole second, third phase in 2 minutes? Nah, I think 100 Thieves wins this, bro.
Which would give them a significant advantage.
Which I think I said in the beginning of the game, chat. True or false? I'm pretty sure I said 100 Thieves was going to win.
At that clock on their way here through.
Pretty sure I said it was 2-0, too.
And remember how quickly 100 Thieves was able to dictate the pace of a lot of these fights all the way beyond that second point. Now you're going up the ramp here. You're looking at what 100 Thieves have to provide when it comes to taking this neutral fight on the bridge. And even with Self going over to the Ultron, hovering over it before making the swap back over to the Daredevil.
I like the switch for Melio, though, onto Moon Knight. TTK is just a walking onk for him to work with, and he is certainly going to be applying so much damage and pressure off the back of it as well. But it's Self on the Daredevil who gets two, as FlyQuest
Self has been a really huge pickup for 100 Thieves, bro. I know they lost Terra, but Self fills the...
and actually be able to push this one over the line if we're not careful.
Self fills the hole that the team needs.
This time around too.
He's the melee player. I don't think Delena plays the melee, right?
Going over onto the buggy. Okay, I like this now. As now with the 100 Thieves once again holding back FlyQuest. They have less than 35 seconds on the board to scan.
What do you mean Terra can't play melee? Terra has Iron Fist and Wolverine in his belt.
These different angles. The End Song Inferno also online for 2C.
Like damage, and actually the impact is going to be huge as well. TTK taking down Melio, though. So FlyQuest, is this their last chance, being just swatted away from them right in these final moments? 13 seconds remain for them to try and force this one across.
TTK is a literal beast, by the way. Not only finding that trap, finding Techie, the isolation of the bubbles.
I think that's GG's, chat.
On the map. That is 2 in favor for TTK. Delena now goes in for the reset. The Kraken impact, the silent seduction. Can it even be enough? Now together with the eternal bond from Zelos, but you still have the reset from Delena. Again and again, the desperate slump over to the Angela.
Nice shot.
From Car on top of it, but you still find velocity at the hands of Delena.
FlyQuest try as they might, but they have lost one, although we will
Oh,
see now
nice
let the
shot.
devil out from Self, which might just be the final nail in the coffin here for FlyQuest. Boy, are they
And
trying
Self
to
is
stay on
killing
the point,
everything.
but they finally get ripped off it as 100 Thieves will take the series 2-0 here against FlyQuest.
What a showcase of Devil Dinosaur gameplay too.
I told
At
you
the
guys
hands
100
of
Thieves was gonna win.
The way not only they play around it, but the way that
I
they
didn't even
utilize
doubt it.
from TTK.
I didn't
Great
even doubt it,
way
bro.
To also show how 100 Thieves have adapted around